Hey, how is going? This is your host Sonnet and you're listening to Have a Seat with Sonnet. We will talk about innovation and imagination. No matter what the field is, everything that influences the imagination and motivate your innovation will be here in the show. Make your own podcast with Anchor. This free creation tool will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast in Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and in many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast too with no minimum listenership. So Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And now it's time to have a seat with Sonnet. Recently, I was reading an article which said our ancestors, especially Neanderthal, used to eat more veggies than meat. Wait, did I just hear this right? Okay, just because Neanderthals ate meat doesn't mean they only gorged on it. In fact, according to a study conducted by the researchers at the University of California, Davis and Stanford University, they are looking into bacteria from human ancestors' teeth. It shows that our close cousins consumed a large amount of root vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, which have been linked with increased brain function. Harvard University's evolutionary biologist Rachel Carmody said the study is groundbreaking. She goes on saying that it suggests human and Neanderthal ancestors were cooking lots of starchy foods at least 600,000 years ago. They had already adapted to eating more starch plants long before even agriculture was invented 10,000 years ago. Does it make you wonder what other kinds of secrets are still being uncovered by scientists today? It has been a long since our ancestors were just grunting around in the woods. In fact, it turns out that their brains doubled in size between 2 million and 700,000 years ago. Researchers have thought for a while now that this was due to better stone tools or cooperative hunting. So, as early humans got more skilled at killing animals and processing meat, they ate much higher quality diet, which gave them extra energy very quickly, so their hungry brain could grow bigger and faster. There's a lot of new research on how humans were able to grow larger brains. Scientists have theorized that meat was the answer. But Christina Werner from Harvard and Max Planck Institute for Science of Human History has some doubts about this theory. She said, for human ancestors to efficiently grow a bigger brain, they needed energy-dense food containing glucose, a type of sugar. Meat is not really a good source or food full with glucose. Now researchers are studying the DNA from bacteria in tooth plaque to see what they can learn about ancient human ancestors. The starchy plants gathered by many living hunter-gatherers are an excellent source of glucose, however. To figure out whether oral bacteria track changes in diet or the environment, Werner and a large international team looked at the oral bacteria stuck to teeth belonging to Neanderthals, pre-agricultural modern humans that lived more than 10,000 years ago, chimps, gorillas, which both eat less starch but have similar diet because they live near each other, as well as howler monkeys who were found eating only fruit on one side of Panama with no contact from any other primates for thousands of miles. The researchers have analyzed billions of DNA fragments from long-dead bacteria still preserved on the teeth of 124 individuals. One was a Neanderthal who lived 100,000 years ago at Pesturina Cave in Serbia, and they were able to reconstruct their oral microbe genome, which is now considered as one that has been done before. Scientists have found traces of rare bacteria in the mouths of ancient humans and Neanderthals. The microbes called Streptococcus salivarius was mainly found on the teeth, where it helped to break down sugar from carbohydrates like starch that were consumed by those people. What's even more interesting is how this bacteria strain has been shown to thrive on human amylase but not chimpanzee enzymes. clearly showing an evolutionary adaptation for eating our foods. The presence of the strep bacteria that consume sugar on the teeth of Neanderthal and ancient modern human, but not chimps, shows they were eating more starchy foods. I love this study because it suggests that Neanderthals ate so much starch that they changed the composition of their oral microbiome. That's amazing. The discovery of a starch digesting enzyme in the human mouth pushes back these important elements to when our brains were still expanding. The amylase is more efficient at digesting cooked rather than raw starches. So it suggests that cooking was common by 600,000 years ago and may have been an even earlier date. People are amazed to find out how early humans started using fire for cooking food due to new research about one particular enzymatic protein found in their mouths. The study offers us a new way to detect major shifts in the diet. If you still think that our ancestors used to eat a lot of meat and very less vegetables, I think it's time to change. They used to eat a lot of veggies and maybe sort of meat. Maybe that was the reason they were so strong and so innovative. That's all, folks. Right now, your host Sonnet signing off for today. Keep listening. Have a seat with Sonnet.